What's up, I'm the Ultimate Doom here, doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm doing a mock review on Fieradah, or whatever I'm calling her for right now. So, I wanted to make a mock for a while, and I decided to do one, so we got this. I did take parts away from the Keifu mock because of a couple of reasons. Number one, the mock was an entry for a contest, it didn't win it. That wasn't the main reason why I decided to take it apart. Two, it was a little too big and not really sturdy. Like, I had to put it against my wall to be able to get it to stand up. It could stand up by itself, it's easy to fall over. And three, I kind of want to make a smaller version of that. Something that's not as big. Although I kind of like the size of it, I kind of want something that's more shorter, and I don't know. But anyways, this is the mock that I decided to make, and I think she looks fine. In fact, I think she's a better looking mock than some of my older sets, especially some of my really older sets. I like some of the aspects on this one quite a bit. I did change a few things since my original video on this mock, which I will talk about in a sec. I'm just doing a turnaround of the mock for right now. And I'll also be answering a couple of questions and responding to some of the comments about the mock itself. I also wanted to explain that it is a she, not a he. So with that out of the way, let's go through some of the things that people asked about or commented on. The first thing is the spear. She is a bulky lady, and someone said that giving her a spear is probably a bad idea because it's a thin weapon, it just doesn't go with her. I actually think that it kind of goes against her, but in a good way. Like it kind of... I don't know how to explain it exactly, but I kind of like how thin it is from... I mean, the weapon itself from here, compared to her, which has this bulky stuff going on with her on the torso mainly. So I just decided, you know what, a spear actually looks pretty good to her. I tried looking at a couple of different weapons, and I just feel like the spear works for her, especially with her status. So I decided to go with that. I'm still going to try and make alterations to the spear. I'm not sure how I feel about the shield piece. But other than that, I do like the fact that she comes with the spear. And it's a big weapon too, like it's a long weapon, so I think it kind of counteracts itself just fine. But that's just my personal thing. People seem to really like the gun, and I think that's probably the best part about this mock. I just personally really like that. Someone also mentioned that the gold kind of clashes with her. The idea for that was it's kind of like some jewelry or something like that, and that's why I added that into the set. I also took off the clear bit on the front. It just felt like there was no reason for that to be on, except it kind of went with the silver bits on their shoulders. But other than that, it just didn't really work out for me, so I decided to remove it completely. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the back. The changes I made, I altered these. These were originally gray, but I changed it out for black because I think it contrasts well for that little bit right here. If we could see, these little hand pieces were gray. I switched them out for black. Someone said that the arms were too thin, so what I decided to do was turn this little black piece around so that from the front view that fills it out, and I just think it looks better. And then what I also did was took a hand piece and connected to the hand piece above that. That's pretty much what I referred to these as, because they're the original hand bits. But I connected that to fill around that, because I don't really have any of the tire pieces. Well, I kind of do, but they're in a bin, and I don't really want to go through that. Some people seem to really like the flame bit, so I decided, okay, I'll keep that. I wanted to keep the mask, and I decided, well, I'm going to keep the mask. Let's see, some of the other changes that I made to the set are mostly the legs themselves. Let's go down to around here. This was actually the first thing that I decided to do, because I wanted these armor bits as the sides of her hips, and I think that worked out fine. The problem is you had these two exposed ball joints right here, and I didn't like the beam going across it, so what I did was I did find an extra little tire piece that I could use, so I just wrapped that around that to kind of distract from that bar right underneath it. But then I added these hand bits, which, yeah, they're broken at the end, but I noticed that the ends of that was getting in the way of the Hordeca mask on the back. So it actually worked out fine. You get a little bit more room out of that. And originally I just had that just so that the ball joints could do something. But then I decided, okay, what if I take that and attach the weapons to that? So that's what I did. Let's see, what else did I change? These upper leg bits were originally just a bit shorter, and I decided to extend it off. I noticed that another one of my MOCs was using one of those, and I could swap them out for the shorter ones and give this the extended one, so I decided to do that. There was a little black bit right underneath here, but I decided to remove that because there was really no reason, and because now I can give her a little bit more articulation, so that's good. And as you can see, the entire lower legs, except for the feet, is different. It's altered. Let me try and take this off. I can't. There we go. So we got this. Let me take off the foot. So the armor piece is nothing different. That was on the original one, but what I decided to do was take one of these extended Hero Factory-esque bone joints, and I decided to wrap it around with these Technic bits that I found in a bucket. And so I decided, hey, why not use all this to extend that off and be able to put these game pieces, and I do know that the numbers are on the other side. I could probably clean those off, but, like, use some sort of, nail polish remover or something like that to remove it, or something. But I decided not to. I didn't really want to ruin these pieces, so I decided to leave them like so that they could add a little bit of detail, and I noticed that the gray bit right here, or the gunmetal bit right here, could wrap around this. I would like to find these in silver, but it also contrasts well with the gunmetal that's also used in most of the set. Well, not most of the set, but in some parts of the set. So I decided to keep the gunmetal color and just keep the foot. I would like to see if there's a gunmetal foot to go with this, or maybe like a black version of this foot. People have said that they really like the small feet instead of the bigger ones. And I wasn't sure how they would go with the toy, because my biggest concern about the feet was that, yeah, they're small compared to the MOC right now, but if I didn't make the MOC as tall as it was, would it just look like these big, kind of round-looking, stupid-looking feet, or would it contrast well with the set? And I think it actually works with the set pretty well. As far as the articulation is concerned, let me raise up the camera just a bit. There is a double joint in the neck, which I swapped out the hand bit that was connected to the head with the axle with this shorter bone piece. I didn't even know that I had, so I decided to swap that out. You get a joint inside here for the shoulder, which is good, and then all this gets out of the way. A ball joint right here, a ball joint right here that's not restricted, so I can keep the arm out like that. A ball joint in the hand, of course. These are on ball joints. This is on a ball joint. This can also move out and in to get out of the way. This is on a ball joint, goes out to about there, and then goes forward to about there, and then back to about there if I get stuff out of the way. Knees bend to about there, and then the foot goes side to side and forward and back. Not too far back. I need to swap out that piece, but I don't have a piece to swap out right now, so I just have it like that. So yeah, pretty cool. And then she's got a waist ball joint, because I like giving my MOCs that added bit of articulation. As far as size comparisons are concerned, I should have brought something official to really size compare with this, but what I have is my self-mock. So she is tall, which is fine. You know, I had no problem with that. And then we also have with me the Clicks mock, which is pretty cool. And then another mock that I have is the Vortrack mock. Let me get that out of the way. Probably going to swap the chest piece for a red one, but right now I just have this. So, yeah, they're about the same height. She's a bit taller, which is good. I'm fine with that. And then as far as the weapons are concerned, I have to be quick about this because my camera's telling me I don't have that much time right now. Is the spear, which you can do whatever you want with that. And then, of course, the big obnoxious gun, which someone said that the handle might not be the best look, but I thought it was so obnoxious and funny looking that I just decided to keep it like that. And I like the fact that it's all in red. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not going to really pose her right now, but that is the mock. I might do a build tutorial later on. I'll have to wait and see, but that is the mock itself for right now. So, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, that is pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.